Today on Fresno State Focus, we take a look at early voting polls as we get closer to Election Day.
Plus, we will get to meet some of the local candidates around the valley.
And I give you a behind-the-scenes look at the latest Central Valley Honor Flight. Fresno State Focus starts now. Hello and welcome to Fresno State Focus. I'm Al Scott.
And I'm Mason Beaver. As we are getting closer to Election Day, early voting is going strong. According to the Fresno County Clerk's Office, more than 100,000 early mail-in ballots have already been sent, and many are expected. This past weekend, Fresno County opened the vote centers and will open 43 additional locations for Election Day.
And that's why we really want to encourage voters to go early. All of our vote centers are open and available Saturday and Sunday from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. And there won't be anywhere near as many people as will be out on Election Day. So if you want to go when the lines are shorter, potentially no lines at all at most of our vote centers, go this weekend.
Some of the voting locations on campus are in the Student Rec Center in the East Gym area. There is also a ballot drop-off box at Campus Point across the street from Maya Cinemas. If you want more information about this election, head to votefresnocounty.com.
There will be a lot of new voters this year. Seeing the ballot for the first time can be scary.
Instead of skipping out of your chance to vote, Bianca Gonzalez has some tips for words of encouragement from Fresno State professors to give. MCJ's Dr. Jess Scotcha says the key is to research, research, research.
And really try to figure out what their policies are that they would put into place, and then research what effects have those policies had in other places where they're already enacted, so that you can have a better idea of not just voting for a personality or for a party, but voting for a better community through better policies.
You have resources, right? So that includes other friends, that includes family members, right? Get together with people who you trust and talk about what's on the ballot. Walk through the ballot with each other. That both makes it fun, but it also means that you're a little sure about share your information with each other.
My advice would be to study out the issues and the candidates for yourself. Don't listen to what others say, or don't listen to all the political ads. Just research it, find it out for yourself, and then vote your conscience.
Measure Q is one of the propositions on the ballot here in the Valley. It's intended to improve K through 12 and community college schools. If approved, there will be $698 million bond passed. Reedley College is one of the community colleges that would be affected by this bond. The purpose of the Measure Q is to expand the community college facilities in 4 counties, which is called Vision 2035.
I think Measure Q would really expand the opportunities for a lot more students to have just more access to education that they can then take with them to the workforce and just be able to afford it.
Measure Q will modify all colleges in the State Center Community College District, as well as 10,000 schools in our state. Today, people had a chance to meet some of the local candidates just before next week's election. The Fresno Area Hispanic Foundation hosted a breakfast this morning for voters to get to know candidates in a small setting. Political guests from Districts 2, 6, and 8 were invited to speak to the crowd for 6 minutes each as a last-pitch effort to gain more votes. Former Bulldog David Tangipa is running for Assembly District 8 and says he hopes to work for the citizens of Fresno and Clovis.
Working and focusing on the families here, I just wanted to represent them. That is my biggest honor, and once I get to that point, I want to put it all out there because those people are worth working for.
This is Tangipa's first time running for office. He is going against former Congressman George Rendavanich, who was also there. Nicole Linder from the Marjorie Mason Center spoke out against domestic violence as it is Domestic Violence Awareness Month.
It is less than 1 week away from Election Day, and as we showed you early, votes are already coming in. However, some people feel like California votes don't matter. The person who can respond to that is Dr. Lisa Bryant, chair of the Fresno State Political Science Department. Thank you for being here with us, Dr. Bryant.
Hi, thank you for having me.
So I want to jump right into it. So why is it important for Californians to vote in this upcoming election?
I think there's 2 reasons. The first one, most people focus on the presidential election, and so they think, oh, California's already decided it's not worth my vote. But This is going to be a close election, right? The polling shows that it's incredibly close. And so one thing that people look to is the popular vote and say, you know, was there a consensus among the people? Even though it doesn't go to the electoral college, it still sends the idea that there was some sort of unity behind a vote if the election is in question. The other thing is we have 2 very competitive congressional districts right here in Fresno County, and there's only 24 competitive congressional districts across the country right now, so to have 2 of them in our county is incredibly important. And both the House and the Senate are where laws are made, and so I would say if you don't think your vote votes in the presidential race, like look beyond that. Look to Congress, look to your local elections, which are also very competitive, and so there's lots of good reasons to still vote.
I mean, I myself, you know, I'm still an undecided voter. Like, I'm still haven't casted my vote yet. I mean, do you think? I mean, I think it's just as important as, you know, you and I. Like, I think we should definitely vote early. I also would like to add on that there's actually been some vandalism of ballot boxes. We actually have some video. What are your thoughts about that with the ballots, you know, burning in the fires, you know, that are happening from that?
So there's 2 different instances. There's Multnomah County, which is Portland, and there's Clark County, which is Washington. And Multnomah County had really updated secure ballot boxes, the same type that we use here in Fresno County. Those have a fire suppression device in them. So only 3 ballots were destroyed in that fire. The Clark County has an older ballot box system, and it didn't have a fire suppression system, and so many ballots were destroyed. So what I would say is that we need to invest in our election infrastructure because, in fact, we do have the technology so that when people try to tamper with elections, it's not successful, but we need to make sure that we invest in those things.
Well, Dr. Bryant, thank you so much for being here.
Okay, thank you very much for having me.
We are 6 days away from the general election, and students at Fresno State are gearing up to vote. Brian Welch went around campus this week to find out why students say they are voting.
So are you going to be voting this general election?
Absolutely.
And why are you voting?
Might as well. It's because it's, I don't know, it's the right thing to do.
No, I'm not going to be voting.
Yeah, I have voted.
And why did you vote?
I just feel it's an important responsibility of an American citizen to cast their vote in their election and make sure that all their voices are heard.
Still unsure.
Unsure. My ballot's back at my hometown over there, so probably not.
Personally, no. I am not one for politics.
I will be voting next week, yeah.
I think so. I'm leaning more to yes. So, yeah.
So why are you going to vote in this general election?
What's the reason? Because I'm able to vote now, and second, because I feel like it's important that I should voice and play a part in the next 4 years and how I will be affected in living. So it's important.
Yeah.
So why do you want to vote?
To make my voice heard.
Coming up on Fresno State Focus, we get professor and student thoughts on ChatGPT.
Plus, we take a look at and listen to one of the oldest clubs here on campus.
We're gonna have to have rain in this weekend. I'll tell you all about it coming up.
Here in the valley, our colors are blue and our waves are red. Bulldog born and bulldog bred. Generations linked forever by traditions that have stood the test of time. Inside our stadiums, we are one. This is our valley, and this year, we're doing it for you.
At Fresno State, being bold means committing to something greater than yourself. It's learning by doing and nurturing leaders to advance our shared future. It's using research to create a better life for those around us and healing those who need us most. These are our stories, because at Fresno State, bold begins here.
Good afternoon. I am Ray Franco with your focus on weather. Take a look at our sky cam. As you see, there's partly clouds coming through, but it is mostly clear and sunny. Now take a look at our nationalized satellite. As you can see, there's quite a rain throughout the Kansas and Missouri, but don't worry, there won't be any severe storms, so that is good news for all of us. Take a look at our western satellite. There is a light showers coming through at the northern California, and it's looking ready to make snow, and we're going to see some bit of rain, and I'll tell you more about it coming up. As you take out of today's highs, as we were cooling down compared to last week, we were all in the mid-60s. Our top highs is 69 Los Banos and Mendota. And take a look at today's lows and look at the mass difference. We're all in the 40s, so it's going to be breezy out there. The lowest one is 41 in Mendota, and the highs is the 52 in Stockton. And here's our air quality. Everything else is in the green except Fresno, Kings, Tulare, and Kern. You're all in a moderate area. Now here's our extended outlook. It's gonna be bright and sunny Thursday, and that's when the rain started to kick in this Friday, and it's gonna come through Saturday. But don't worry, if you're planning on going to a football game, the rain will be long gone before that happened. So that's good news if you buy that ticket already. So there's going to be a time change coming up on Sunday. So enjoy the 1 hour rest and take a look at Monday. We're going to have a morning fog, and that's when November is starting to kick in. That is your Focus on Weather. Alan, Mason, back to you.
Halloween is tomorrow. Are you looking for a fun alternative to trick-or-treating?
Brian Welch has you covered. He is live at Ghost Golf in Fresno.
Hey, Mason, now I'm live here at Ghost Golf in Fresno. I'm now joined by the owner of Ghost Golf, Darren Coleman. Mr. Coleman, how are you doing today?
Good, Brian. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. So how did the idea come about of a haunted house meets mini golf?
I've been doing haunted houses and haunted attractions for a long time. I used to do a big, huge yard display. And I just one day decided, one day of glory is just not enough. What can I do with this stuff and use it year round? Kind of inspired by the miniature golf course down in Santa Cruz and the indoor pirate themed one. I said, hey, what if we did a haunt indoor miniature golf, and came up with Ghost Golf.
And you might notice right behind me, right behind us actually, that you see a lot of Halloween spookiness here at Ghost Golf. And what are you guys doing tomorrow for Halloween?
Well, it's Halloween every day in this place, but we do have a couple little extra routines that run on Halloween, and we hand out candy, stuff like that.
And where are you guys located at?
We're at 5179 North Blackstone Avenue between Barstow and Shaw, right next to Whitey's Pets.
And talk about the courses. How many holes do you have here on the mini golf course?
We have 18 holes of spectacular fun right here at Ghost Golf. Every hole is kind of interactive, so things come alive and crack jokes at you, make fun of your golf game. Just try to have a good fun, try to make it fun for all ages.
And hey, we are here at the mini golf course, and I do have a putter with me. So we're gonna follow right now. As Nick Cummins, our great camera guy, will be following us right now. As I will try to get a hole-in-one here this afternoon. Apologies for the wires, everybody. As I'm gonna try my best to try to make it happen right here. As I go wide right, that's correct. That's why I'm a reporter, not a mini golf player. But I'd like to say thank you so much for having us out here today, Mr. Coleman.
Hey, thanks for coming out, Brian.
And everybody stay safe and have a happy Halloween. Reporting live at Ghost Golf in Fresno, Brian Welch, Fresno State Focus. Back to you guys in the studio.
Santos de Aalon is prepping for its yearly performances this semester. Alex Flores takes us behind the scenes.
In the UCUC program, the group's origin stems from the 1970s. I spoke with the director and students to learn a little bit more about the group. As one of the highly respected and known clubs on campus and in California, Los Santos de Aalon have been performing across the United States and in some cases, Rosarito, Mexico, since it was created by Professor Ernesto Martinez. Dr. Victor Torres, the director of Los Santos, has taken lead of this group since 1997 and tells us his passion for folkloric dance.
So folklorico to me was that vehicle that gave me a sense of belonging, because although I was in a big university with very few people that looked like me, in folklorico we all looked like each other. And we all had the same passion and pride in our heritage. And that just took off.
Ezekiel Flores is one of Dr. Torres' students and has been a part of Los Santos for 2 years.
So Dr. T will always bring the best out of you. He won't settle for anything less. He always wants you to do better, and he knows you can do better, so he'll always push you, and for that I'm very appreciative of.
When Dr. Torres isn't teaching in his classes, he's here at the dance studio, teaching Los Santos de Aalon some new performances that they need to work on. Laura Alvarez was part of Dr. Torres' high school folklorico summit and has a shared passion with Dr. Torres for this outlet since she got to Fresno State.
He is so passionate about the little details, so we'll work a lot on técnica, using things as, we call them ticas, where we lift up our knees. We have a lot of high knees. Yeah, he's very into those little details, and I feel like that's what makes it stand out a lot.
As Dr. Torres is entering his 29th year as the director of Los Santos de Aalon, he said he has no plans of slowing down. Their next performance is the annual Christmas show on December 7th.
Artificial intelligence is being used for many different reasons. ChatGPT has answers for you within seconds of asking you questions. Reporter Maricel Rubio asked people what they thought about ChatGPT.
ChatGPT is well known and oftentimes used by students. Professor Hanayo Oya sees both the positive and negative sides of the AI chatbot.
I would say ChatGPT could be either good or bad. It could give a negative impact, or it could give a positive impact. Either way, it's up to you how you use the tool, because ChatGPT is just a tool.
I don't think it's a necessity, more of a supplement. Like, it really speeds up the research process, especially, you know, if you're in nursing and you do care plans and stuff, so.
Oh, don't mind me. I'm just using ChatGPT to simplify quantum physics.
I think ChatGPT has a lot of pros and cons. I think that, especially with college students, they're really reliant on what it does for them, and I think that they should start to be a little more independent so that they're prepared for their future.
43% of college students have used ChatGPT or similar AI tools. While many see the pros and cons, ChatGPT isn't designed to cheat. It's to help inform.
Some younger generations could use ChatGPT for their assignments, writing essays, things like that. That is actually, it's depriving the opportunity to learn by themselves.
ChatGPT can be used for many things. In Fresno, Maricel Rubio, Fresno State Focus.
Whether you're needing help to understand something to even looking up recipes, ChatGPT is a tool that can be used daily. If you're interested in trying it, head to chatgpt.com.
Club sports are a great way to get involved on campus and stay active. With me today is ASI Senator for Athletics and Recreation, Robert Rivera, to discuss club sports and intramurals. Welcome, Robert.
Thank you. Thank you for joining me.
So, club sports, intramurals, what are they, and how can students get involved?
We'll start with intramurals. So intramurals, if you want to break it down to the Latin root, it's a word that means within walls. So it's just sports within the walls of Fresno State. It's students playing other students to win a championship T-shirt. It's as basic as I can make it sound. It's really fun. It's for students to compete against students, and just a fun way to stay active and during the times of all the stress that comes with school. It's just a fun way to stay active.
Can students still join right now, or is it too late?
So there's multiple things going on throughout the semester. There's different leagues. There's different little tournaments that go on. Like there's ping pong, or there's a big league. Like outdoor soccer is really popular right now. There's about 22 teams signed up for that. But it's throughout the semester. There's an app, IEM Leagues. If you go on it, it'll tell you everything going on throughout the semester, and it's really easy for students to just sign up and have fun.
So you talked about intramurals. What about club sports? Is that a different format?
Yeah, so that's completely different from the rec center. Intramurals is through the rec center. Club sports is a university thing. So there's 22 club sports that are active at Fresno State right now, and that includes rugby, both men's and women's rugby, bowling, ice hockey, all that fun stuff. If you go search up on Google, it's club sports for Fresno State, it'll show you everything. But that's through the university. That's through funded by ASI as well, funded by the university. So that's all having to do with students. So that is right up my alley. So club sports is also able to be joined by students. It's for students, but it's a little bit more competitive than intramural sports. Intramural sports, you don't have to travel anywhere. Club sports is university playing against another university. So our club sports teams go to UC Irvine, UC Merced, UC Davis, all those other schools. So intramurals is just at the playfield or in the court.
Intramural sports, they're free to join. How does that money get funded for the teams?
So for intramurals, it's funded through the rec center. The rec center, they provide the jerseys, they provide all the sports equipment. The only thing you would have to pay for if you are trying to start a team with your friends is a team fee. And at UCLA, at the big schools, they're about $200. Here at Fresno State, they're only $20 to start your own team and to have a bunch of your friends, a bunch of your homies come and play basketball, try and win a tournament, try to win soccer. It's $20 and you're in. But for all the small sports like ping pong or little basketball challenges, that's completely free. You just either dot your name down or sign up online and you show up.
Sounds great. Well, thank you for joining us today, Robert.
Coming up in sports, an update on the race for the World Series between the Dodgers and the Yankees. Plus, we will give you a recap on Fresno State's homecoming. Stay tuned for your Focus on Sports.
I got the bulldog spirit up in my head.
Up in my head.
Up in my head.
I got that bulldog spirit. Up in my head. Up in my head to stay. I got that bulldog spirit. Deep in my heart. Deep in my heart. Deep in my heart. Got that bulldog spirit. Deep in my heart. Deep in my heart to stay. I got that bulldog spirit. Down in my toes. Down in my toes. Down in my toes. I got that bulldog spirit. Down in my toes. Hey. Down in my toes to stay. I got that bulldog spirit. Up in my head. Deep in my heart. Down in my toes. I got that bulldog spirit. All over me. All over me to stay. I got that bulldog spirit.
Deep in my heart.
Deep in my heart. Deep in my heart. I got that bulldog.
I'm Iframata with your Focus on Sports. New uniforms came with a new attitude for Fresno State. The Dogs dismantled the Spartans 33-10 at the Valley Children's Stadium. All three phases played well, but the defense was the catalyst for the performance. Senior corner Cam Lockridge intercepted 2 throws for the Dogs, earning himself Mountain West Defensive Player of the Week honors. The Dogs take on Hawaii this week at home. On Sunday, we saw some familiar faces take the gridiron. Devontae Adams had a much better game with his new team. The wideout hauled in 4 catches for 54 yards. Adams looked more involved in this offense this time around. Jake Hayner took over for Spencer Rattler on Sunday. Hayner looked good while he was in, but he may soon have to hand the reins over back to Derek Carr, who's likely to return this week. Dallas Cowboys cornerback Deron Bland has also been activated from injured reserve. The Yankees have forced a Game 5. Anthony Volpe opened the floodgates with a grand slam. After that, it was a slugfest. Former Bulldog Aaron Judge also got the first RBI of the series. They'll face off tonight in the Bronx. Can the Yankees force a Game 6, or will the Dodgers win it all in Game 5? The NBA season is upon us. California teams are showing out. The Lakers started the season 3-0, but lost to the Suns on Monday. The Warriors are 3-1 despite parting ways with Klay Thompson. Buddy Hield scored 19 points in the fourth quarter alone, finishing with a game-high 7 threes. The Sacramento Kings got off to a rocky start this season as they lost their first 2 games, but they've quickly bounced back and now are 2-2. Great memories were made during homecoming. Ray Franco shows us what homecoming really means to the people in the Valley.
As the Bulldogs come out of the tunnel in all black, the sold-out Black Wave crowd rallied behind them at the homecoming game. Not only this is a homecoming game, there are several reasons why people are attending here. Reasons like the Battle of the V, the Ring of Honor for Ron Cox, Alumni Night, and the post-game drone show.
Interesting to see both alumni and current students come together and be able to coexist in one space and celebrate each other.
It's not too much different from a normal college homecoming, but the atmosphere has been second to none between obviously the blackout jerseys, the crowd being here early for the game. Obviously, we just got done with the Ron Cox celebration and the ceremony, putting him into the Ring of Honor. Everything has been tip-top this weekend for sure.
Unfortunately, the post-game drone show was postponed because of the technical difficulties, but that didn't stop the Bulldog taking the V trophy back to Fresno.
We felt the energy. It got our sideline going like the guys that aren't in the game. They got going, so it was a ton of energy. It was very electric.
Once the Bulldogs got the lead, they didn't look back, and now are looking forward to do the same thing to Hawaii. Reporting to Valley Children's Stadium, Ray Franco, Fresno State Focus.
Now, you don't have to worry. That drone show will be rescheduled. They'll announce that new date on Fresno State Athletics Instagram. That's your Focus on Sports. Back to you.
Earlier this month, I got an incredible opportunity to go to the nation's capital with some of our country's heroes on the Central Valley Honor Flight. I got to learn from them and share this emotional experience. Here's a closer look behind the scenes.
70 veterans, each with their own guardian, were given a once-in-a-lifetime VIP experience to visit Washington, D.C., to see war memorials and museums built in their honor.
Lord is good. Yeah. Freedom isn't free.
While serving in the Marines in Vietnam, Stephen Unzueta and his combined action units faced an experienced group of North Vietnamese troops. He promised the Lord that day that if he lived, he would serve him the rest of his life. He says that the trip gave him the opportunity to find the names from his unit who didn't make it home from the war.
My friends paid the price, the ultimate price, and I've got closure too.
Veterans have made it clear to me while they appreciate the recognition for their service during the time of the war, they also want to pay their respects to those who served their country before them.
The experience at the World War II Memorial was emotional for many, including Carl Lyon, whose father served in the war as a Marine.
Coming around the corner and seeing this, and seeing the numbers, you know, I didn't know it was affecting like this.
Following the changing of the guard, veterans were given a parade by hundreds of students visiting Arlington National Cemetery.
Kids made me feel great this morning.
A long-awaited feeling for these veterans, Daryl Hyatt says the reception of the Vietnam War was much different 50 years ago.
I got out, I took off the uniform, I got in my civvies, I went home and didn't talk about it for like 50 years.
The 31st Honor Flight is set to take place in April. If you'd like to learn more about the Central Valley Honor Flight or how you can help, visit the website at cvhonorflight.org.
As Ray reminded us, it's time to change time again. Time to fall back 1 hour. That means changing your clocks to reflect standard time. Time will officially change at 2 a.m. on Sunday morning. With the time change about to happen, this is also a good time to change the batteries in your smoke detectors. If you need to replace your smoke detectors, hardware stores around the Fresno area have them for sale. Tonight, there is spooky surprise on campus. Spotlight Events is hosting Spotlight Spooktacular just in time for Halloween. There will be a costume contest, live music, food, prizes, and more. This afternoon, they will set up at the Memorial Gardens near the Kennel Bookstore. It starts at 7 and ends at 10 tonight. Al, what will you be doing for the Spooktacular Spotlight?
I might be dropping 5 for a little bit, but I'm hosting a Halloween party later tonight, so I can't stay the whole time.
Well, I have no plans for this Halloween, so probably just going to pass out candy, you know, just see all the cute little kids in their cute little costumes.
What's your favorite Halloween candy?
I like Reese's.
I'm a Gummy Bears guy.
Nice.
Next week on Fresno State Focus, we'll be focusing on the election results.
Plus, we will talk about a transgender man about his journey toward helping others in the LGBTQ community.
Also, we will get a look into fire safety during the wintertime.
Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week.